Hello, and welcome to this demo of PX-DR Metro DR on top of Tanzu. So we can see we have a cluster domain. We have a local Tanzu West, Tanzu East, and a witness all up and running. And there's some requirements on the back end, some external etcd, everything is already set up and running. As you can see here, I have an application running that has a PVC, a front end, and a MySQL server. And while it's replicating, we can see that the data is in the east, and what we're going to do is learn how to type. Here we go. East. So we're going to look at this and say, okay, the actual objects that are replicating to are all scaled to 0. So you can see that the SQL server, everything's ready to go. So if we do a failover, we can scale these up. So the first thing to do in order to kind of force that failover to start is, I guess we'll create some data first. Find owners. You can see that there are some records in the database, and I'm going to create a new one for this VMware Explorer demo. Explore, give it an address, city, San Francisco. Let's put that in there. There we go. And my phone number of some type. Blah, blah, blah. Add. So that creates that record. And if I want to create a pet, because I'm using this very secure and awesome app, create my pet named George, and George was born on the 28th of August. Oh no, gotta have the proper format. My bird George was born on the 28th of August. There we go. Add. All right, so now we have some data, brand new, created, and this data is synchronous to the other cluster. So this means that we don't need to replicate the actual data. We just need to replicate the objects. So the data is synchronously copied to the other cluster. So now that we've created some, we can look at the migrations here just to show that, hey, it's been copying. It's successful 44 seconds ago. So it does that every minute. It just makes sure that any changes to those objects is copied. And this allows us to get the very small RTO with a 0 RPO. So now, if I'm a little overexcited, let's see if I can create this failover. So we're going to deactivate the cluster domain. So that basically tells the cluster, hey, west is off, take it offline, right? No data coming from the west. So it's data now is only coming from the east, and we are going to do the failover. So we're going to make sure that the app is no longer running in the west, it's going to run in the east. So I'm going to scale the west down to 0, just make sure it's not connected. Now, like if a cluster crashes or something, or got deleted, it would not be there anymore, right? So we don't need to do that. But in my environment, just to simulate that, we're going to scale it to 0. And now we're going to get the command from my other screen and bring this application up on the other side. You can see in that bottom left window that the application is currently sitting at 0. We're going to suspend the migration schedule so it doesn't migrate or try to copy over the top while we are running on the east. And finally, been waiting for this for like 3 minutes now. We're going to scale that replica up and for each deployment in the east. There we go. And now in that bottom right window, we should see things starting to spin up. And if I go to slide a window away, slide a new one in, there's the IP of one of the hosts in my east cluster. Now, you can see as that comes up, so the database is now running, so MySQL is up and running. one of one, and we should see the front end go healthy here in just a couple more seconds as it attaches to the database. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Hit refresh. Let's see. Do that, John. Refresh it. All right. Now we can look at our table, and oh, there, all my data is there and synchronously replicated. So thank you for watching this demo of Metro DR on top of Tanzu. Hopefully it was very informative and beneficial to you. Thank you very much.